Hey guys, it's Gretchen and welcome back to my channel. Piercings, go figure, me doing a piercing video on this channel. But when it comes to piercings, there are a lot of mistakes that people tend to make, especially if they're not used to getting piercings or it's like their first one that they're getting. If they just aren't aware of everything that goes into caring for a piercing, mistakes can be made. So for this video, I am going to be highlighting some of the most common mistakes that people make with brand new piercings or even piercings in general. These are typically mistakes that are made if you are just getting like your first piercing or if you just don't have an understanding of all of the care that goes into taking care of a piercing. Basically, this can happen to anyone though. So the first mistake that I see quite often is over cleaning. Yes, you can in fact over clean your piercing. You want to make sure that you are keeping up with the aftercare, keeping up with the proper cleaning of your brand new piercing, but you don't want to get so invested in cleaning it that you over clean it. Because if you over clean it, you can irritate it almost as much as if you were under cleaning it. By over cleaning it, you are irritating it, you are drying the skin out around the piercing site. You may even be causing more fluids to come out. So you want to make sure that you are sticking with the guidelines that your piercer gave you, because your piercer is going to be your best resource for making sure that your piercing heals properly. Typically, when it comes to cleaning a piercing, you want to stick to twice a day. Once you've had it for a bit, maybe you can back off to once a day, but twice a day is a pretty good start for it. Doing it once in the morning, doing it once in the evening. That's always what I've done with my piercings. But there have been times, and I am guilty of this, where I have done it 3, 4, 5 times a day just because I'm like, oh no, I see a little bit of gunk. Let me get rid of it and completely destroy it. You'll notice that area around the piercing site starts to get flaky, it's itchy, it's crustier than you would want. You wanna make sure that even if you do notice it's starting to get gunky and your first instinct is to clean it vigorously, make sure that you're not over cleaning it because you could potentially be making it worse. The next mistake that I often see is twisting or turning your jewelry or just touching your new piercing in general. Despite what Claire's would have you think, twisting or turning jewelry in a brand new piercing is very, 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 very bad. Don't do it. Their thought process is that if you twist it or turn it, that nothing's gonna grow up onto the jewelry. It's not gonna do that anyway. The only time it would do that is if it was plastic. Typically you have metal as your initial jewelry for a brand new piercing. It's not gonna do that. It may seem like it, but that's not actually like the skin growing up onto the jewelry. That's just the gunk that just automatically comes with a brand new piercing. That is not skin, so you don't really need to worry about skin growing up onto the jewelry. But the crusties that you see that are kind of clinging to not only your skin, but then also to the jewelry, that's perfectly normal. But that's where your cleaning comes in. So you do it first thing in the morning, first thing in the evening, you're cleaning it. And that kind of gets rid of all that gunk that's forming around the jewelry and adhering itself to your skin, but that's not your skin itself. So maintaining an appropriate cleaning regimen is going to counteract any possible need to twist or turn your jewelry. And I know when you get a brand new piercing, the first thing you want to do is touch it. My tragus on this side is brand new, and yes, it's having a little bit of difficulty on the back side right now. So there are times where I'm sitting there going like, oh, let me see what it's like today. And then I'm like,
no, you stupid fool. Stop touching it.
That's gonna make it worse. That's gonna prolong the healing process. Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. When you first get a piercing, first thing you wanna do is like, oh my God, look at it. And sit there and poke it. Don't. Just leave it alone, leave it be, let it do its own thing, clean it when you need to, set it and forget it. Another mistake is not understanding Pearson bumps. When people get a bump on their piercings, the automatic response is, oh my God, I have a keloid. Most likely not. Keloids are actually pretty rare and they're kind of genetic and some people are more prone to them than others. You may just have just a good old Pearson bump. And there is a difference between a Pearson bump and a keloid. Knowing the difference is vital and essential so that you can diagnose things correctly. Yes, you can do research online and sometimes keloids and Pearson bumps cross over at some point, but not understanding bumps in general and which one you might have or might be more prone to can sometimes put a halt in the healing process. So make sure you know your information. And yes, the internet is a great resource, but so is your piercer. If you suspect something more than just a traditional Pearson bump that comes up every so often along the way, go see your piercer. They will know more than anyone, even more so than doctors, because doctors aren't specifically trained for Pearson bumps, so they may not know. Go to your piercer. Which leads me to my next point, which is getting advice or information from outside sources that are not your piercer. Yes, my entire channel is based on providing information and understanding of piercings, tattoos, blah, blah, blah. However, I am not a professional piercer or tattooer. I am an enthusiast of body mods. So this is just stuff that I know, or I have come across, or I have learned, or I have experienced. But should you take everything I say to heart? No. If you're still questioning things, go see a professional. Go see your piercer. Go see another piercer if you aren't near your particular one. Go seek professional assistance, information, advice. Your friends can give you all the advice in the world, and usually it's good. But sometimes there's also crappy advice. Just go seek a professional. And the final mistake, these are common mistakes. Let me say that. These aren't all of the mistakes, these are just common ones. But the final common mistake that I see is changing your piercing too early into inappropriate jewelry. So I get asked a lot, whether it's on YouTube or in my Instagram DMs. This other common mistake that I see is people being like, oh, I got my piercing 2 weeks ago. It no longer hurts. I'm not seeing anything come of it. Can I change my jewelry yet? First of all, no. Second of all, listen to what your piercer said. What did your piercer give you guideline wise? Sometimes I'll see people say, oh, my piercer said I could change my jewelry after a month. That's usually if you're downsizing, and usually they want to be the ones to do it, not you. So do not change your jewelry out sooner than your piercer has told you, and do not change your jewelry out to something that is not good for a heal-in piercing. Remember, piercings take a long time to heal, especially cartilage ones. They can take up to a year to heal. Do not change it out to something that is not good for a heal-in piercing, such as acrylic or bone or horn. Things like that are not good for a heal-in piercing. Do not automatically change it out to that just because you think your piercing is going to be fine with it. Because I promise you, if it's still in the healing process, it's not going to be fine with it. So these are just 5 of the common mistakes that I have personally either experienced myself or seen others make, and I just really want to help others avoid making those mistakes because they can be pretty detrimental to your piercing, or at least prolong the healing process. You know, cartilage piercings can take up to a year to heal, and if you're messing with it too much, or if you're not properly looking after it, it can take even longer than that. And no one wants to be dealing with something for over a year to make sure that it heals correctly. Let me know in the comments below what other mistakes you've seen people make. Again, these are common mistakes that is the premise of this video. I know there are a lot of mistakes that people make, but these are just like the 5 most common ones that I've seen. But if you have other ones, leave them in the comments below and hopefully people can avoid them. Also, leave in the comments below, if you're brave enough, which mistakes you yourself have made. I know I personally have made pretty much all 5 of these mistakes at some point. If you can admit it and be brave, go ahead and do that in the comments. I mean, I will be the first to admit that I have done all 5 of these mistakes at some point in my piercing journey, unfortunately. But that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big ol' thumbs up. Go on down there and hit that subscribe button, wherever it may be, because I don't know. Even though I do, this is just my shtick now. Also hit that notification bell in case you want to know when I upload, and in case YouTube wants to let you know when I upload, because I would really appreciate it. And until next time, bye guys.